Welcome to the John and Heidi Show podcast.
John and Heidi.
Here's John and Heidi.
Today is a special day, Heidi. Do you know what today is?
What is today, John?
I thought you would never ask, Heidi. It's Friday, March the 4th. Today is National Grammar Day. Did I say that right? I think so. National Hug
When is Gramper Day?
Grammar, not grant. All right, moving on. National Hug a GI Day, National Pound Cake Day, National Suns Day, National Day of Unplugging, National Dress in Blue Day, National Speech and Debate Education Day, National Employee Appreciation Day, Marching Music Day, and Tartar Sauce Day.
I love tartar sauce.
A lot of folks eating fish this time of year on Fridays, and tartar sauce probably has quite an uptick right around now in sales. So I'm not a big fan of tartar sauce, actually. I am a big fan of fun guests like the one I have today. I have Austin Rogers joining me, and I have his book somewhere here. He's got a trivia book. He's a super smart guy. He was on Jeopardy, and in my giant pile, I'll have to find it here. He's got a book. We'll chat about that coming up.
At BetterCreditCards.com, our mission is to help you get a better credit card. Why pay more interest than you need to? We have cards with amazing points and perks. If you're not a point person and just want the lowest interest rate, you can find those too at BetterCreditCards.com. You can also find credit cards designed to help you build your credit. BetterCreditCards.com wants to help you get a better credit card. Give yourself a little credit at BetterCreditCards.com. That's BetterCreditCards.com.
Now, surveys and studies and such brought to you by BetterCreditCards.com. A study found that office distractions gobble up 2.1 hours a day for the average worker. It's way more than that for us.
Yeah, for sure.
Way more. They say once interrupted, it takes the average worker 25 minutes to get back on task. It takes me about 2.5 hours. That is if they even return at all. People switch activities, by the way, like going from making a phone call to talking to somebody to working on a document about every 3 minutes. So there's a lot of distractions is what they're saying. And chocolate and wine, is there anything it can't do? Scientists say they have now found an antimicrobial lining that can wipe out body odor.
What?
Yeah, and it's something that you find, this chemical, in chocolate, and you also find it in wine.
There you
If you
go.
want to read the entire story, which, might be worth reading if you're into this kind of thing, I have all of it. I don't have time to read it all, but I do have it with our surveys and studies and such. It's in the show notes for today at johnandheidishow.com.
It's Bernie Carrick, former New York City Police Commissioner. If you own a gun, you need to check out StopBoxUSA.com, the safest solution to keep a firearm in your home and get instant, reliable access to that gun. It's an awesome weapon retention product, especially if you have little kids at home or frequent visitors. Get access to your gun in under a second. StopBox is the safest solution to keep a firearm in your home.
Use discount code RADIO to save 10% at StopBoxUSA.com.
You need to check out StopBoxUSA.com.
Did you know? Brought to you by RadioTravelGroup.com. Heidi, did you know a Yemen man broke his own Guinness World Record by managing to stack 4 eggs on top of each other without them toppling?
Okay.
So imagine a round, oblong, egg-shaped
Yeah,
egg.
that would be pretty tough to do.
Even to sit one on top of another would be tough. Well, Mohammed Mukbel set this record by stacking 3 eggs on top of each other. Well, he just beat his own record in Istanbul, Turkey, where he managed to stack 4 eggs into a tower. According to him, the hardest part is finding the center of gravity for each egg due to its unique shape and texture. So I've got a link to the thing if you want to see what that looks like. It's in the show notes for today. By the way, did that impress you?
Not really, no.
It's not a world record you want to break?
No, I don't really care about any of them. I
not a world record
never
person.
understood the whole
I always find
desire.
it kind of fascinating. I've got a link to it, by the way, in the show notes for today at johnandheidishow.com.
John and Heidi.
Now, big screen, little screen, brought to you by ChannelSurferTV.com. Comedy power couple, Nick Offerman and Megan Mullally. By the way, that's how people usually talk about us, too. They'll say,
Yeah,
power
they
couple,
certainly
John
do.
and Heidi. No, not power couple? Okay. They're going to host the 2022 Film Independent Spirit Awards.
Okay.
And they're doing that on March 6th. When is that? Oh, that's this Sunday. Holy cow. It says we hope to get a little rowdy, but it'll mainly be legitimate cinematic discourse. Although, with the two of us involved, it's more likely to be intercourse. Well, what?
Oh, my.
Okay. They said either way, it'll be legit. So anyway, that's coming up this Sunday in Santa Monica. And what is this? This Is Us. Oh, that show, there's a lot of people that love that. And the final date, like the season finale is on now. They set the final date, and it is May 24th. That's going to be the final episode. So a lot of folks working up to that. Thanks for listening to the John and Heidi Show.
The Vegas Travel Center is offering 3 days and 2 nights accommodations to Vegas. They'll completely waive the package price. Plus, you get tickets to your choice of activities as well as meals. Jump on this now. Obviously, a deal like this isn't going to last. When they're gone, they're gone. So don't miss out. Just call 605-210-5220 and they'll get you set up for a great getaway. Call now for this special radio offer. 605-210-5220. That's 605-210-5220.
Now your scoop of the day comes your way, courtesy of BetterCreditCards.com. This is so obvious, so I'll keep it short. You know that fitness tracker thing that you got for Christmas and you stopped wearing it last month? They say find that and charge it up and start wearing it because walking is good for you.
Yes, it is.
Health data found the more walking you do, the less time you will spend in a hospital.
Yeah.
So they're saying get out and walk. How often do we walk, Heidi?
We really don't, and we need to.
Probably should. I don't have
we
a
have a
fitness
dog
tracker.
who loves to. We really should
Our dog
be.
does love to go for a walk. I remember having this plan. I was going to go for more walks, and I thought, I'll get a Fitbit. And I got the Fitbit, and I strap it on my fat little wrist, and then the band broke. I need a fat bit, which is not a thing, but it should be, isn't it?
Yes,
Isn't that like
it
a
should
good idea
be.
for a thing?
Yeah.
All right. Hey, if your home is busting at the seams, or are you one of the millions of homeowners that pays for a mortgage and storage? You don't need a bigger home. You need to downsize. You can start with your kids. Don't get rid of the kids, but start with their stuff, their toys. A British researcher found the average 10-year-old has 238 toys, but only plays with 12 of them. Holy cow.
You know what? The same can be said about our clothes and our shoes.
Heidi just went through her closet and got rid of a bunch of
I
stuff.
got so much.
Now, they say it's not just British kids. 3.1% of the world's children live in America, and they own 40% of the toys globally. So 3% of the kids have 40% of the toys. So you don't necessarily need all of those. Go through and say...
Yep. Time to say goodbye.
We used to do that before Christmas every year. We would have our kids go through and pick some things that they were going to pay forward to someone else.
Yep.
And then that gave them room for their Christmas stuff. So now our kids are grown and gone, and they both
no longer practice that.
They both have way more stuff than they
Yeah.
need. They got that from us probably. And there's a rocket due to hit the moon this month. It is not from SpaceX, although online people are talking about SpaceX. No, it's from China. So if you've seen that online that there's a rocket going to hit the moon, it's not a SpaceX rocket, it's a Chinese rocket. So.
Okay.
Thanks for listening to the John and Heidi Show.
Aloha! Are you ready to enjoy a little slice of paradise? GMDvacations.com is a family-owned, professionally managed vacation rental in sunny Kauai, Hawaii. Your family will absolutely love the area, and the vacation rental has room for up to 6 guests. Why stay in hotel rooms when you can have your own area at a vacation rental from GMDvacations.com? Visit Hawaii with us and make your trip to this tropical paradise one to remember. On Facebook and Instagram, online at GMDvacations.com.
Thank you for listening to the John and Heidi Show. Super excited to visit with Austin Rogers. He's a New York City bartender, but probably more well-known as a 12-time Jeopardy winner and went on to the Tournament of Champions, has done very, very well. And he's got a new book. It's called The Ultimate Book of Pub Trivia by the Smartest Guy in the Bar. Austin Rogers, how are you, sir?
John, I'm doing great.
This is really a neat book. I've been looking at this. I got a copy that was sent over to me, and there is a ton of stuff. I'm looking here at 300 rounds of trivia, more than 3,000 questions. How long did it take to put this thing together?
Well, John, I didn't so much write it as collate it and assemble it over time because I've been hosting pub trivia for 15 years. And in the course of that, I've written about 85,000 original questions. So when I got the book deal, it wasn't so much writing the quiz as culling and winnowing down my existing questions into 3,000 I think stood the test of time and are still interesting, less dated, and also collating and curating each round to countermand the prior, so making sure I had a wealth of diversity in there.
That is really cool. Now, that also means you've got some stuff left over. So if you wanted to do the Ultimate Book of Pub Trivia 2, you're probably like halfway there already, at least.
John, I could probably do the ultimate book of pub trivia, Roman numeral VII, The Search for Spock, if I wanted to.
I love that. Now, what was it that first got you interested in trivia? You've done very well on Jeopardy. What was it that got you started in that?
Well, I was the guy who always, as a kid, was reading and memorizing encyclopedias. That's literally what I did for fun. I just go into my bedroom and open up the World Book, Volume 7 and letter K, and just go, oh, well, there's something on this and something on that, and there's Kazakhstan, or actually there wasn't a Kazakhstan then. It would have been the Kazakh SSR, which, by the way, looks like we're going back to. Anyway, I digress. And then in high school, I played this high school-style college bowl called Texas Star Challenge, and it was a team thing where you could just ring in. And I remember being really good at the categories that I was good at and really terrible at the categories that I wasn't. So if I heard, like, and now a math question, I'd be like, nope, I'm out. But then I'd hear, in the year 18, yeah. And then the other thing I do is you could ring in at any time, unlike Jeopardy, where you have to wait for the clue to be read. So at Texas Star Challenge, you could ring in at any time, and it would be like, in 1815, I'd be like, Battle of Waterloo. The host would be like, oh. In 1815, at the Battle of Waterloo, and I'd be like, yeah, so I technically got it right.
I love that. Now, were there books and things growing up? You'd mentioned you read the encyclopedia, but were there other things that, as you were growing up, that were a big inspiration for you as a young trivia buff?
Oh, yeah. I mean, it's very typical white suburban male. World War II airplanes and dinosaurs and German sports cars and, like, all that kind of stuff, because there's facts and figures all around. The Ferrari F40 makes 476 horsepower with a twin turbocharged V8, you know, the Porsche 959 and then the Messerschmitt BF 109 and the Air Cobra P40. Oh my God, I could go on and on and on, and all these numbers and facts and figures and ground speed and horsepowers and Allison V1702 engines and whatever. So yeah, I was always doing that.
And you were 12-time winner on Jeopardy. Did you watch that TV show quite a bit as well?
I watched it immensely as a child. As a child, it was mandatory viewing at 7 o'clock on ABC 7 here in New York. We would just stop and go, it's Jeopardy time, and then we resume our schedules, be it homework or dinner or whatnot. But then, truth be told, from college onward, up until I knew I was going on Jeopardy, no, I didn't watch Jeopardy. I didn't have a schedule that allowed me to, because weekdays at 7 o'clock, I'm in New York. We don't stop work at 7 o'clock. We're still at the office.
Yeah.
I was an events planner. So I probably didn't watch Jeopardy between 1996 and 2016 when I got on the show.
Well, you certainly made up for it when you got there. 12-time Jeopardy winner, and now the author of the new book, The Ultimate Book of Pub Trivia, by the smartest guy in the bar, Austin Rogers. Austin, thanks for your time today, sir.
You got it. See you soon.
Absolutely. Again, the book is available right now. I'm going to make it really easy to find. We'll throw a link to it in the show notes for today at johnandheidishow.com.
At bettercreditcards.com, our mission is to help you get a better credit card. Why pay more interest than you need to? We have cards with amazing points and perks. If you're not a point person and just want the lowest interest rate, you can find those too at bettercreditcards.com. You can also find credit cards designed to help you build your credit. BetterCreditCards.com wants to help you get a better credit card. Give yourself a little credit at BetterCreditCards.com. That's BetterCreditCards.com.
Fun fact for you, Heidi.
What's that, John?
According to a 2014 study, the melting properties of mozzarella make it the very best cheese for pizza.
I think we've already known that.
Yeah, I think that's probably why most pizza has
Yeah.
mozzarella. Fun fact for you, Heidi.
What's that, John?
Boring, Oregon, and Dull, Scotland have been sister cities since 2012. And a few years ago, 2017, they added Blandshire, Australia to their, quote, League of Extraordinary Communities. That's actually really kind of fun. Fun fact for you, Heidi.
What's that, John?
50,000 Americans move every single day. A lot of people on the move, going places, moving from one house to another. Fun fact for you, Heidi.
What's that, John?
The smell of a Crayola crayon comes from beef fat. So if you smell that and you're like, oh, that smells like a crayon. Well, that's actually beef fat that you're smelling. And our final fun fact for you, Heidi.
Well, hold on. So they use beef fat to make crayons?
Apparently.
Huh. Okay.
All
What's
right.
that, John?
Well, too late now. We don't have time. Thanks for listening to the John and Heidi Show on a Friday.
It's Bernie Carrick, former New York City Police Commissioner. If you own a gun, you need to check out StopBoxUSA.com, the safest solution to keep a firearm in your home and get instant, reliable access to that gun. It's an awesome weapon retention product, especially if you have little kids at home or frequent visitors. Get access to your gun in under a second. StopBox is the safest solution to keep a firearm in your home.
Use discount code RADIO to save 10% at StopBoxUSA.com.
You need to check out StopBoxUSA.com.
Now, RadioTravelGroup.com presents a news headline from somewhere in this world. Dateline Australia. Health insurance company in Australia says people who wear Apple Watches show a dramatic increase in physical activity. And here's part of what that is when you know that there's going to be a record of what you're doing or not doing, you tend to do better stuff.
Yeah, I suppose.
So this company gives fitness tracking watches to members of their Vitality program, and they say over 50 increased their physical activity by an average of 51% while wearing the Apple Watch. So here's my question. How do they know how much they were moving before? If they didn't
that's true.
track it before.
That's a very good point.
Yeah, I've got more information. This is actually more than a news headline. It's a whole news story from Australia. If you want to read it, it's in the show notes for today at johnandheidishow.com.
The Vegas Travel Center is offering 3 days and 2 nights accommodations to Vegas. They'll completely waive the package price. Plus, you get tickets to your choice of activities as well as meals. Jump on this now. Obviously, a deal like this isn't going to last. When they're gone, they're gone. So don't miss out. Just call 605-210-5220 and they'll get you set up for a great getaway. Call now for this special radio offer. 605-210-5220. That's 605-210-5220.
Now, some weird news brought to you by WeirdGiftOfTheDay.com. There's a lot of dairy alternatives to choose from, but the latest could be a game changer because of how cheap and plentiful the main ingredient is. So you've seen like almond milk.
Right.
And you've seen
I don't know if I want to hear this.
Soy milk.
Yeah.
And I saw some cashew milk. How about potato milk? Yeah.
Oh.
They say potato milk is said to be deliciously creamy and great for homemade lattes and cappuccinos. Plus, the humble potato uses a lot less land and resources than other plants that are currently used as milk alternatives, which also makes it more affordable. DUG, the world's only commercially available potato milk brand, recently made their debut in the UK. If you'd like to try making your own, there's dozens of recipes available online. So
seriously, is there anything the potato can't do?
I don't know. You know the hardest part about getting
perfect
milk
food
from a potato is finding its little udders.
I knew you were going to say that. I knew you were going to say that.
That's your weird news brought to you by WeirdGiftOfTheDay.com.
John and Heidi.
Time now for the list brought to you by BetterCreditCards.com. These are hacks for a happier commute. So if you got to drive, to and fro and whatnot, you got to go on the road, do stuff. They say, first of all, blast your favorite music. Specifically, your favorite song. They say if you listen to your favorite song over and over, it'll bring you joy. And hopefully we'll be playing that for you here shortly. Next is smell a calming scent. So saying make sure you have your vehicle loaded up with something that smells good. Take some deep breaths. So deep breath in, deep breath out. They say that will actually help with stress. And then catch up with a loved one if you can safely. Either with a hands-free device or putting the phone on speaker or whatever. You can reach out and touch someone that way. Visualize expressing yourself creatively. So think about creative things while you're driving. Think about splurging is another one. Thinking about things that you would actually like to get. And the last thing, listen to something you enjoy, which you're doing right now. And we appreciate that. All right, that is the list. Brought to you by BetterCreditCards.com.
Aloha! Are you ready to enjoy a little slice of paradise? GMDVacations.com is a family-owned, professionally managed vacation rental in sunny Kauai, Hawaii. Your family will absolutely love the area, and the vacation rental has room for up to 6 guests. Why stay in hotel rooms when you can have your own area at a vacation rental from GMDVacations.com? Visit Hawaii with us and make your trip to this tropical paradise one to remember. On Facebook and Instagram, online at GMDVacations.com.
Time now for the quote of the day. It comes your way courtesy of InsuranceChicken.com. Your quote today comes from Jay Leno. Here's his quote. He says, here's something you don't think about. How come you never see a headline like, psychic wins lottery?
Yeah. I've actually had that thought before.
Yeah, you'd think.
Because if they really are.
Yeah. But they're using their powers for good, Heidi. That's what it is.
That's exactly what it is.
I had a request to speak with a psychic, and I decided not to. I wonder if they knew ahead of time that I wasn't going to talk to him.
I don't think so.
All right. Good news coming your way. Thanks for listening to the John and Heidi Show on a Friday.
John and Heidi.
This portion of the John and Heidi Show is brought to you by the John and Heidi Show. That sounds kind of funny, but it's true. Go to your local radio station and ask them to start carrying the John and Heidi Show. Here's the best part. They can carry the show for free. They play a couple commercials, but it doesn't cost them anything every month. So if you know a radio station that could use a little bit of help, send them our way. Send them to johnandheidishow.com. Again, johnandheidishow.com. We would love to do a radio program in your community. Then you could listen to the podcast and listen to us on the radio.
John and Heidi.
We always like to wrap things up around here with good news, and I think this is good news. Comes your way courtesy of radiotravelgroup.com. An Illinois woman held hostage in her home
Yikes.
was rescued after her daughter noticed that she hadn't sent her Wordle score. Yeah.
Oh, how sad is that?
Yeah. But that's what first caught her attention. She then alerted authorities. 80-year-old Denise Holt
Oh, my goodness.
told a reporter that a naked man entered her Chicago area home, dragged her around the house, disconnected
my goodness.
her phone lines, and eventually barricaded her into a bathroom where she stayed for about 17 hours. Police went to check after receiving a call from her concerned daughter, who hadn't heard from her mother. Her daughter became concerned because her mother was not reading her texts. So she was sending texts, but she was like, okay, she's not even seeing these. And mom had not sent her usual Wordle updates.
Wow.
So Wordle saved the day on this deal.
That is insane.
It really is. Now, I don't have a lot more information. That I just read everything that I know. So I don't know if the person was caught. I don't know why the man was naked. I don't know any of those things. So people who are going to send me messages or ask me, or Heidi was going to ask me, I don't know any of that stuff. But I do know this is a good news story because it was in with the good news. See, so it's where I found it.
That's awesome.
So I know it's good news. And it's also good news because now this lady's okay.
Yes.
Think about how that story could have ended. It
Well,
could
that's
have been
just
terrible.
awful. Who would do? I
don't
don't understand who would do something like that. Just especially somebody so
Anybody.
elderly. I mean, it's just horrible.
Just don't. Be nice to people. That's the moral of the story. Anyway, good news comes your way courtesy of radiotravelgroup.com. Time to say goodbye, Heidi.
Goodbye, Heidi.
Goodbye, everybody. Have a great day. Thank you for listening to the John and Heidi Show on a Friday.